He's up the Monkey King a lot more, much less likely to be spotted rotating around, a lot harder to pressure the puck if he falls back, I mean, to his jungle. He can kind of like cliff jungle by his shrine, so definitely a nice little start for EG.
I mean, this is the thing. You look at EG, they're going to have Zai and the Monkey King roaming about. Over on the side of Wings, you can have Ice on the Doom. I mean, how can a Doom achieve as much as a Monkey King? This is a hero that's it's very hard to be effective in this laning stage, isn't it, as a Doom in its current state? One will
farm, one will, well, roam and pressure the lanes a bit more. Doom, at least once he gets a couple of levels, Doom kind of needs to have like a point in at least a couple of his spells. He can't gank with Devour, but with 1 point in each of his spells, he can start ganking. So Doom level 3, level 4, with boots and like a nice creep, that's when he starts helping out a bit more.
So obviously, as we can see from the lane, Shadow indeed playing the safe lane Centaur, as supported up by Y.
Interesting to see what Zai is doing at bottom. He's gone for the Jingu, but top lane.
Well, look to get the timing right. Will he still get the chance to jaunt? He's not going to. Universe could potentially be in a little bit of trouble here. They will try and hunt for him for a little bit, go straight for the TP out, and he will make it. One won't be able to find him as he gets himself back to the shrine.
There's Monkey King, yeah, level 1 Jingu, who's just been trading hits with Brew to zone him. This is, I mean, it sounds like a suboptimal way to play the Monkey King, going for Jingu level 1, but if your safe lane is a hero like Spectre who needs to free farm, like the Spectres, the Anti-Mages, these weak laning heroes that need free farm, supporting this lane is going to go a long way, and you don't really want to trade hits with a Monkey King. He's going to get the better of you, because once he gets that 4th Jingu stack, he starts lifestealing, he gets bonus damage. This is not an exchange you're going to win as a Brew.
Looking at the mid lane matchup at the moment, Sumail 8 for 3, Blink 4 for 1. Sumail having the stronger time. It's pretty much expected in a 1v1, or is this just Sumail being Sumail?
It's the combo, Lina being the better here at the early levels, at most levels, and also, Sumail, mechanically very good player.
Oh, hello. He's going in for it, but again, with the missed chance. Had to get it level 1. Certainly working at keeping himself alive, but this Brew is struggling to find much from this offlane.
It's fantastic, because this means CM isn't even zoning. CM is just jungling away. So we're seeing already the point in the aura at level 2.5. Won't probably see even the fast level 3 on crit. At that point, you can either pick up the smoke, get the Crystal Nova, and go for a gank, or you can even get a second point in aura to help your lanes. This is going to mean Sumail wins his lane even harder, because he's got that extra mana to just keep throwing spells at Blink.
Absolutely, really forcing Blink back it. The CS difference pretty insane for the first 3 minutes, as we can already see.
The lanes aren't going well, and it's up to the Doom to fix that. So he's going to start getting active early, maybe earlier than he would have wanted to.
This could be a bit of a surprise for Sumail. He's not expecting this one. He hasn't seen this hero for a few patches, and straight in, surrounded by the two of them, falling low, but crit just in time with the rotations, holds Ice back, and Sumail will be A-OK. Crit turning up just in time, and the Doom has to wander back to his own jungle and continue the farm.
Felt like Doom ganked earlier than he wanted to. He's not level 3 yet. If he has Infernal Blade there, guaranteed kill. It's a lot more extra damage. It's an extra little mini stun, so no Infernal Blade is the reason they don't get that kill. And Doom was like 1 creep away from hitting level 3, so I feel like waiting for that level 3 would have been the better way to take that.
And bottom lane, Zai. He's been persistent on the monkey, jumps on a tree, Sunstrike isn't going to be on point, so Zai will get out, and this has got to be, it's got to be so frustrating for Faith Bian down on this bottom lane.
He got solo killed. Did Spectre didn't even throw a dagger. Has full mana? It looks like she hasn't even thrown a dagger, at least not for that kill then.
No, for sure not,
Well, really good stuff.
Still sitting at level 1, really struggling to find the experience from that bottom lane.
Yeah, this is dream laning setup, and Wings need to do something about it. We'll see what the Doom's next big move is going to be, if he can make any kind of rotation. Has hit level 3, so has the Infernal Blade point, but this move is walking past 2 Observer Wards. There's zero chance
and they're ready for it. They want to turn it around. Zai and crit coming up under the cover of smoke, prepared to protect that mid lane, but Ice is going to decide against it. Like I said, he's kind of wavering in between each half of the map. As now maybe looks towards the bottom.
Yeah, risky to just be walking around the river, knowing your opponent's very likely a vision of that area.
Zai looking to try and get something done mid. Blink very, very low at the moment. Jump down, has the Boundless Strike. Stun duration, of course, at level 1. Not going to be long enough to allow the teams to set up, but it is forcing Blink right back and out of this lane, where Sumail continues to have that lead, doubling the CS of the Invoker.
Didn't get the Primal Spring off. Not sure if that was a misclick or just didn't think you could get the kill there. But he's going to swoop on in, make sure that there's no one jungling around looking for that Doom or someone. But Doom has managed to make his way down bottom undetected. Could possibly cause some problems here.
And Crip heading down as well. Zai looking for the lead in with the Primal Spring, trying to go in on Faith Beyond. But indeed with Ice Ice's presence, looks like it's going to be enough to hold back the Monkey King. And the two of them will have to back up underneath their tower. Zai just piling on the pressure on these lanes.
Yeah, this is looking really good for them. Sumail going to keep up in the heat in mid lane. He's winning handily the CS battle. Arteezy free farming.
Oh, bottom lane, Faith Beyond's in trouble again. The dagger's in. Zai jumps straight down, and EG with their second kill. This time going to Arteezy.
He's got Midas. His recipe is on the courier. He's got it. 6-minute Midas. This is not a hero that normally gets Midas, but when you've got a complete utter free farm lane, courtesy of the Monkey King, why not? This is going to power 11. It's going to be picked up at such an early time that this will definitely pay dividends.
I mean, what's the plan with this if you're Wings? I mean, it looks like such a rough laning stage already. I mean, the saving grace, kind of, I guess, is the fact you have Shadow on that safe lane Centaur. He's going to be able to hit relatively good timings, but he's going for the hook first. The blink is going to be postponed. I mean, when as Wings do you start being able to make things happen that go in your favor?
Stampede could be an opportunity to set some kills, but yeah, using the Doom and using the Stampede are probably the two big things there.
Now, Icesight's coming towards the mid again. Zai is in the neighborhood. Will try and hold back Blink, but already there we have the catch as they blow down Sumail. And Zai, he's in trouble as well, as this time the rotation from Ice works out as they have Y as well, coming in with the haste rune. Enough lockdown and enough control to easily dispatch there the two members of EG and getting themselves even on the kills.
Sumail was playing very aggressive there, but it's because he had a kill on Blink. If they managed to get the jump first, Blink goes down. They were trying to set up a Boundless Strike into Dragon Slave Laguna combo, and if those Wing supports had rotated like 5 seconds later, it would have been a kill going the way of EG and potentially no response. So definitely the quick moves from Wings paying off, and we'll see if they can kind of maintain these pickoffs. They need to try and take advantage of the fact that Arteezy with this Midas can't really gank all too well. It's not that Phase Boots earn Spectre. Theoretically could have both those items right now, but without them, he doesn't really want to use this Haunt. He just wants to sit bottom, continue to farm, at least until he has the Phase Boots at a minimum.
And already we can see that combo ready to try and go again. The two of them, White and Ice Ice, heading towards the bottom, but already that ward, as we saw, Deep Radiant Observer ward on the high ground, did spot out this movement. So EG, they know exactly what's up. Arteezy is already backing himself right away from these two and making sure that he doesn't get caught out by this rotation.
Even saw the Dire ward being planted, it looks like, so will likely let his team know.
He's going to get run down a little bit here. Oh, we are going to see a pause call for... I mean, Arteezy should be safe. I believe he has still got the dagger. Infernal Blade already used, so should be able to out-duke this the Doom.
Yeah, not much will happen between those two. Spectre can just get the hell away from them if they need to. Nice scenic Lina shot there. But yeah, so this is, I mean, dream start for Spectre when you can go for a Midas rush and get away with it, and your team doesn't need you to be ganking. A lot of games, a hero like Spectre, there's a lot of pressure to hit level 6, start team fighting, but this team's basically said, look, our other lanes are being won. We don't have to actually get you helping out.
So we'll be able to steal the rune there from Arteezy, but Arteezy forces him away, getting a few hits in with the Desolate in the jungle.
Yeah, it looks like Arteezy is going to fall back and focus more on jungling to free up the safe lane. Get Monkey King some levels, try to get him towards that level 6 as early as possible. And with the Midas Poor Man's Shield, Spectre jungles at a pretty decent rate.
Overlane so far, I mean, this top lane, Universe, is certainly getting a bit of space for this 1v1. At the same time, Shadow does have the hood complete. So he's a very hard kill if they want to try for it. They do have the rotation for Crit coming in. They are going to go for it. And with the Haunt in as well, they're bringing in the three of them. And that will be enough damage indeed. The Silence coming through perfectly, making sure no Who Stomp's there to hold EG back. And EG will be able to get a kill and get Arteezy involved.
Yeah. I feel like Shadow could have maybe seen that. As soon as the puck is like right-clicking you, like he's not doing much damage. He's taking as much damage as he's dealing with the return. Should have been a telltale sign maybe that he was trying to set up for that one. And EG with a great rotation will get not just the kill, but the tower as well. So that free farming center, well, he just gave EG a big bounty as well as a tower, and there's no response inside for Wings. All they're getting out of this is a bit of room for the Bruin bottom, bit of room for the Invoker at mid, but there's no tower, there's no kill going Wings' way.
Mid lane, maybe eyeing up Sumail. They will lead in with the Cold Snap and the Infernal Blade. Have they got enough damage to bring him down? He dodges the meatball. Crits come in with the rotation. In fact, holding Ice Ice in place under the tower, and it'll be EG who turn around. Again, an aggressive movement from Wings. Ice Ice just getting a little too friendly there with the tower.
I like the build from Sumail, going for the phase boots. That saves his life there. If he's gone for like the arcane boots or just casual brown boots without that movement speed burst, it's very unlikely to be able to survive that. And a nice move as he was able to get the nice bit of extra bonus movement speed, get away to dodge that meteor, and things go from bad to worse for Wings, who have found very little success outside that one rotation mid where they got the 2 kills. 3-4 rotations have just completely and utterly failed or even backfired in that case.
Looking at the goal progress, Fabian, 1500 towards his Blink. We saw Blink himself, the Invoker in the mid lane, about 600 away from the Midas, I believe. So still looking to close that gap.
I wonder if they're discussing whether to get like a Midas on Brew even.
True.
Could go for like a greedy option, but it sounds like, as I said, too greedy maybe, with Invoker also going for the Midas, but potentially Centaur will get the Blink and they'll just be happy with the 1 Blink Initiator, and Brew can go a bit greedier.
Well, time for the side of Wings to try and make a bit of a play as they come towards the mid lane. They have that split. They want to try and get Sumail. That's the big one. There we go with the lead in. The Stampede trying to close the gap. Sumail tries to get away with the phase boost, but he's not quite quick enough. Gets around it, does get the Laguna off and takes the Rubik down on the way out. Still making them really work for it there as they hold them back with a boundless strike, but they do get Sumail. So Wings with the successful rotation. They get that mid hero they want, but Zai, actually eyeing up the curry, isn't going to go for it. Maybe feeling that he didn't have the damage and speed to chase it down. But yeah, bringing down Sumail, something that Wings desperately needed to do. He was having a perfect time in that mid lane and certainly getting ahead of Blink.
TP out from Centaur. That could have been another death for him with the Spectre Haunt. He did not want to stick around that top lane any longer, and with good reason. Very hard for anyone to be solo farming right now. A Puck plus Spectre can kill almost anyone. Monkey King is roaming around very actively. The Spectre with this phase Midas is such a dangerous hero to have farming a lane because of the fact that she can just show up anywhere for a gank. Puck with that great setup as well to find those kills.
Blink's got to be careful about getting low here. There's a smoke coming in from EG. Zai with the eyes on the Invoker jumps forward, gets the boundless strike, and that will allow Sumail to close the gap, hit the light strike, and Arteezy once again making sure that he joins in the action, gets a bit of a share of the kill. And EG again.
Ulti there, but not the end of the world. Wasn't really doing much in the bottom. The bottom lane was becoming a bit of a tough spot for him to continue farming, and the jungle was largely cleared out, so another haunt used to secure a tower. That's the big thing here. EG aren't just using these haunts, finding pickoffs. They're getting towers off of it, and Arteezy getting very farmed as a result.
Absolutely. Midas phase into Radiance will be the build. Artur this game. Blink Dagger now complete on Universe. Has the Dream Coil back available again. Zai keeping eyes consistently on Blink, and you can see with the deep Radiant wards as well, they've got such good vision. EG, there's the follow through lockdown, the Laguna from Sumail sending Blink straight back to the fountain.
Yeah, Boundless Strike as a long-range initiation tool, so fantastic in the early game. He's maxed it out, so full 2 seconds done. It's a guaranteed setup for the Lina if she's anywhere in range. And again, that's where the phase boots pay off. You're able to get that movement speed burst to getting close. Without that, perhaps the stun duration isn't long enough, but really liking that Sumail isn't just going for that same like arcane boots into Bloodstone Lina build that we always see. The phase boots of this is like a perfect example of a game where you see why alternative builds can be effective. And hey, LSA damage, you know, you don't need minus respawn time if you don't die. That's,
I was going to say, that is something I want to say that we've not really seen any of the Linas in this tournament go for. They over respawn.
Lina, Sumail did himself. Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's a Sumail.
Last game he played the Lina, he went for the LSA damage, and he just wants to be more aggressive, doesn't want to be trading his life necessarily. He has died twice this game, gotten ganked, but ultimately he's benefited from that extra damage. And the really nice thing about the LSA damage is you can instantly clear a creep wave with the LSA Dragon Slave, which without the LSA damage you don't get.
Wings starting to get some big pickups themselves, crucial ones. Blink finally with the Midas complete. Faith Bian on that Brewmaster now with his Blink Dagger. Shadow as well, just 100 until he has his online as well. So the Blinks will be there, the initiation is there from Wings. They've just got to find the way to play around and into EG. And as we can see again over on Wings' side of the map, 3 Radiant wards giving them very, very clear vision on what Wings will be up to as they come across. And at the same time, Wings, they do just have that 1 Dire Observer ward deep in EG's jungle.
Yeah, they haven't been able to find any value from that Brewmaster split yet, even with the Blink, perhaps waiting for getting the double Blink daggers. But then you look at the elusiveness of heroes like Puck. Puck is just kind of solo pushing this top lane, can split push, doesn't really easily get caught out, and has a blink very early on, is going back for a Midas, I think recognizing that this game may slow down, enter a farming stage, and there's no real other items you need beyond the Blink Dagger. It's going to be multiple Midas gaming. CM building one as well, so the greed from the supports in the offlane is something we're seeing a lot on this current patch. Games are going a bit longer, at least so far here at DAC, and that's something where Midases on offlaners supports always pays off.
I mean, for Wings, is it just the Spectre that's the biggest issue? Is that the hero you're looking to try and catch out? I mean, surely if you can knock down Arteezy a few times on this road to Radiance, you're going to be in a pretty good position, especially compared to how Wings are standing now against EG's early.
He's the best kill to go for because you try and gank the rest of his team who may be grouped together. Spectre haunts in and it turns into a big chaotic fight where Spectre may clean up kills. You go for Spectre, it's a hero that's often farming alone, be it in the jungle, the bottom lane. You can see on the minimap, like right now, he's just down bottom farming by himself. It's a very independent hero. So you gank the Spectre, the chance of a response is minimal. You gank a Puck, he's hard to kill, and Spectre backs him up. Lina maybe comes in to back him up. So you're just worried about the TP rotations when you make a move towards Arteezy, whereas you make a move for someone else, it's TP rotations, Spectre rotations. Monkey King isn't going to be positioned defensively in the bottom side of the map. He's going to be on the other side of the map trying to get wards down, trying to scout out and get vision for his team.
Team fight as well. I mean, both teams certainly have strong elements. EG, of course, with the whole sort of synergy. As long as Universe can hit that Dream Coil, you know, just forcing people to stand in the Wukong's command, in the freezing field from crit. It's a lot of pain, a lot of damage, but at the same time, Wings, they've got lots of ways to kind of break up the fight, haven't they? With tornadoes, with stampedes. They could certainly play around EG's initiation. Yeah,
you can just throw up the Spectre and ignore her in the fights with the Brewmaster Cyclone. I think realistically what Wings want to do is just put themselves in a position where they can actually break towers with that Invoker Brewmaster combo, which is very hard to do because it feels like they're going to need the Brew split for actual team fight itself. So it's going to be a kind of a slow road to recover, but they've got to start using those ultimates. They've got the Blink Daggers up. This is where Wings really want to start chewing through their smokes, finding some key pickoffs, and not just pickoffs, but towers to go with it.
I do apologize, of course, just for this slight pause. Looks to be, well, Sonid issues. I can only imagine crit means sound. As, hopefully we will be able to get the game back on its way very shortly. Build, of course, for Sumail. This game we talked about the talent build. Item-wise phase, Yules, Ether Lens, and then with this build, does he go back for the Bloodstone Shadowblade kind of sorts that we see others Linas go for, or do you think we will see some variation in Sumail?
There's a good chance he might still go back for the Bloodstone. Yeah. I want to say last time I saw him do this build, he went phase Yules and then Bloodstone. Okay. Didn't go the Aether Lens, but it's one of those items which is still great. Like you build up those charges, you get the low respawn time, you lose less gold, and I think also importantly, it tanks you up as a Lina. Like you looked at Sumail there, he's got like sub 1k HP, he's fairly squishy. And in a fight, if he's getting jumped on by Centaur, by Brew, he maybe needs that extra bit of sustain and HP from a Bloodstone, so it's definitely an option. But Shadowblade also great to find pickoffs, to get initiations on heroes like Centaur, Brewmaster. Try jump them before they jump you. And we'll see exactly what he wants to do. But yeah, he's very farmed. He's had a fantastic start to this game. Monkey King has been, I'd say like right now, Monkey King's been the key to this early game for EG. He dominated that safe lane, he roamed around, got a lot of key wards down. The vision game scouted Doom. Every time Doom tried to, well not every time, but majority of the times he tried to rotate down bottom towards mid lane. Anytime he was going through that Radiant jungle, he was being spotted, so Zai on that has been absolutely instrumental to EG's success.
And it really felt like Faith Bian just wasn't, you know, it kind of underestimated Monkey King in a sense, similar to the way that we saw people do when he first came out. I mean, dying solo to the Monkey King effectively, you know, with Zai zoning him out, building up the Jingu mastery. It's a little bit surprising, and of course going down the subsequent time with the help of Arteezy. It looks like we are ready to get ourselves back into the cast. As EG, of course, at the moment 7 for 3, leading as well in terms of the farm, from about 5k lead at the moment early on.
It's a pretty big lead to have for 14 minutes in. You're not getting a large amount of kills. You're getting a few towers here, but yeah, the key thing is when they've gotten kills, they've gotten towers, and they're also just farming better. They're doing this with a Midas on Arteezy, and they're going back for a Midas on Puck, so... And there you go. You can see Arteezy seems wary that his jungle is completely unprotected. Anyone can be in there. He does not want to get caught while the rest of his team are on the north side of the map.
Absolutely. Yeah, with the vision that EG have over Wings jungle as well, not seeing any kind of Doom or anyone walk around the camps.
They seem to know he's there. I think he popped out to use his Midas. And as a result, they may realize that he's in the area, but they also probably at this point like, well, if he's tucked away, it means he's wary of what's going on.
They've got it confirmed now.
Yeah.
They started to back away, but now moving straight back down around Ice. But yeah, Arteezy, as soon as the Doom's in, he's out. Gets himself away to the shrine.
He could stick around if his team was willing to bait him, but at that point it looked like the rest of the team were like, nah, we don't really want to go into an area where there's no vision. I think the key thing in the mid game is always fight around where your wards are. And if your opponents have wards in an area and you're taking a fight there, it's
well, we have it. The found Zai instantly in and the Monkey King out.
I think that ward spots him jumping there. They
just on the edge.
Yeah, he's just on the edge of the ward vision, and I think Zai maybe likely realizes like, okay, that was a ward there. That's why he gets scored. That's like a very forgivable death, and nothing really misplayed there. He gets the scouting info for his team. He gets the knowledge. Now, all right, confirms that they are in fact at bottom lane. He tries to achieve without dying, of course, but sometimes you get caught.
And this is resulting in a great bit of action for Wings as they look to take a tier 2 down bottom.
Yep.
Also kind of nice. Y managed to grab his, get his hands on the tree dance. So now they've got that vision to play with Wings. They can utilize this and try and get the one up on EG, as EG have pretty much had over them in these early game movements.
It's nice for them to focus their pushes in one lane too. Like they could go for all the tier 1s, but going for a tier 2 instead means if they get to a position where they can go high ground with that brew split alacrity, they'll actually be able to take tier 3s and racks very early on. So rather than trying to split their focus around 3 lanes, they do seem to be prioritizing the bottom lane and also just this bottom jungle, take away some of Spectre's farm.
Blink, of course, continues to just focus on his farm, try and get that Ags in his best timing as he can. Midas now done for Universe as well as that Blink Dagger. So has his crucial items to keep the momentum going for himself, keep on pace with everyone, and as we can see, top 3 net worth all over the side of EG.
Yeah, Wings have a lot of work to do. These smoke moves need to connect. They're investing time in this, and Rubik with a stolen tree dance.
Looking to set up onto Universe, but Universe
he's seen Rubik there. Definitely acted like he had.
Maybe caught wind of the golems moving.
Oh, Spectre's up pretty deep here.
And they did see him hide in that spot. Oh no, sorry, that's EG's ward, yeah. So Arteezy should be safe. We'll just reveal himself, go for the TBS. Shadow does have a blink. He doesn't go for it blindly.
Doesn't know quite where Arteezy is there. He could like throw the dagger and then back up. You'd be blind. I mean, you may as well maybe try it, but he also doesn't know what we know, which is that Arteezy was like half HP.
And Blink just the last component away from his Aghanims. Arteezy, few hundred gold, 300, and he'll have that relic on the road to the Radiance.
Yep.
So of course, very, very, very strong timing for this phase Midas Spectre.
Things are looking pretty good for EG. If this game slows down, that suits them just fine, considering they're the team with a couple Midases. There is the Invoker Midas. Whoa.
Bottom lane, Sumail just gets himself a free combo. Straight out to Faith Beyond.
Imagine that was another Boundless Strike into LSA setup.
A very strong combo. Not a lot of heroes on Wings can survive that burst at this stage of the game, if any.
Oh, went looking for the Monkey King, but he was out. Zai showing proficiency on the Monkey Man.
At the least, Wings will be able to hold on to this tier 1 for a little bit of time. Top lane, though, Universe continues to get himself more and more space. Will be building into the Lincoln Sphere.
It's been a fairly quiet Universe game, but I feel like that's kind of been his role. Like, stay at that top lane split push. Big part of the puck being in that top lane is that it's a hero that it's not really worth ganking, and also it's very hard to gank. If you want to actually be able to get a clean initiation off, there's no, like, you can theoretically phase or blink dodge a Centaur stun.
Actually going to try and go for it here. Stampede used to allow Wings to attempt to close the gap. Universe will have the orb again in a second, but gets held up into the Sunstrike of the Silence. They've got the control. Very nicely done there with that. Stolen Silence,
yeah. Let's say Stolen Silence, where'd that sound come from? Hard to gank, but he used his blink and orb aggressively, so I think Wings just saw an opportunity, kind of jinxed him there as he does eventually get caught out. He kind of pushed his limits there and does get punished.
Shadow. Heart next on the list for him. So just making sure that he can build himself up, and it really seems Wings just working towards that point where they are going to be able to get away with this Invoker Brew push that we know that they know how to utilize.
Yep. They seem confident taking a late game, which, considering they're up against Spectre and Midas's is definitely a bold statement, but they have tried to make moves. I think that's a big thing to know here. It's not like they're just like saying, all right, we'll go into a farming game. They've attempted couple different smoke moves, and they've just completely backfired and failed for them. With Spectre's Radiance up, this could be go time. Yeah, start making some puck ganks. Maybe group up the puck, Lina, have Spectre farming, and then look to haunt in. They've got the smoke ready on crit, so that could be coming soon, but as it stands, Wings are ready to fight themselves.
Let's see what the plan is. As you can see the comparison between the two. RTZ in the lead with the net worth, and we'll go with the Horn as there's been a jump already onto Crit. Crit falling low, keeps himself alive with the stick charges, but they continues to chase down with the Bruising. Sumail, Laguna's the Doom straight out of the fight. They will lose Crit. EG still trying to fight here. Universe comes in with a two-man Dream Core holding Y and Shadow down. They'll look to try and find the Rubik first. They'll get it. 2 for 2 at the moment between the two sides. Now Blink's turned up. Looks to drop the Meteor straight onto Sumail, and with the cold snap, Sumail looking to be in a lot of trouble. He'll use himself, but they surround him, bring him down as well. Wings taking the fight as they bring 3.
Spectre is still bottom lane. He used the Haunter, looks like, but didn't actually reality in. Perhaps thought it was a bad fight, so he didn't want to reality in, or just thought his team could handle it without him, but doesn't show up, and that makes a big difference there, not being in that fight.
Big fight for Wings.
Yeah. I think that really was the difference there. If Spectre's there, Wings do not get away with all those kills. The extra kill on the Lina definitely doesn't happen, and potentially they lose more. Like, once that Brew split ends, Brewmaster shouldn't be able to really do all too much. The Spectre should be able to clean up heroes like the Brewmaster, even potentially the Centaur. He hasn't got his heart yet. He's tanky, but not tanky enough to survive a Spectre chasing him down with Radiance.
They certainly do need a few more of those fights, though, Wings. One is not going to be good enough to close the gap that the EG have created, this lead. Diffusal next, and the lineup for RTZ. See a quick replay of the fight as EG will be going for a smoke. Hopefully we'll be able to step back in, but yeah, Crit tries with the freezing field, but Faith Pian getting a lot done there with the Brewlings to be incredibly disruptive. As we can see them pretty much clear up with 3 of them.
I wonder if the Stampede killed all the Spectre Haunt illusions or something, because those, yeah, the Haunt was on cooldown at the start of that fight, it looked like, so potentially it was a Stampede or something, and then he couldn't actually rally in with the illusions dead. That may be one thing that he's got to kind of be worried about. If the Stampede does kill those illusions, you can't actually get the reality in.
Looks like the smoke then from EG did not end up in picking up a kill, as Wings seem to have avoided it here. Both movements on opposite sides of the map. Wings down towards the bottom. EG hunting around Wings' jungle, but now they are going to make their way back down. We'll see if they do head all the way. EG with all the ultimates at the same time, so's Wings. So they've got that split back up. Still a little time under the smoke, but it's going to come out. As EG don't have any vision in their own jungle, but it looks unlikely that both teams are going to clash into each other unless Wings do want to try and commit for the push. They've got that split. They've got the time to show off the Alacrity Brewing.
Not going for it though.
A little timid.
Yeah. I mean, you force a split in the tower. If you get some damage on the tower, but then on the retreat, you may get caught. Like, you're not going to have the split for the fight itself. And I think Wings are probably looking at this game right now like they're very farmed in their cores. If we want to win a team fight, we need split for the fight itself. So I think they're going to take a more cautious approach and wait till they like get a pick off or get like a more, at least even things up a bit in terms of net worth on the cores before they try and take that approach where they just brute force buildings with the primal split.
For sure, and the boost of travel on Blink is certainly going to help that. You know, just having that potential to find a fight somewhere and instantly move into position to get these pushes going.
They're maintaining presence down bottom with just the Invoker TPing back. So as you said, with the boost of travel, he can rejoin down here, but they do have to worry about the Roche. As not saying EG's lineup excels at taking, but there is a DD rune, and hey, there's 5 heroes in the neighborhood, so Sunstrikes will probably be continuing to get thrown out in that area if they're worried about it.
Shadow very close to having that Reaver portion of the heart. Blink will be going for the BKB next. So as well, maybe looking to just really gear up for this fight that Wings have been building towards since the start of the game, that they're going to be able to offer at this mid-game and this insane amount of push if they're able to execute it perfectly.
It is predominantly magic damage coming into EG. Later in the game, Lina can start to scale into some physical damage, and Spectre, of course, some physical damage as the game goes on, but early on it's like a lot of Radiance damage, the damage coming from the Spectral Dagger as well, and the chasing, so Definitely early BKBs, very good this game. Very different to what we're seeing a lot of the drafts from earlier today with all the life stealers, the slatters, the trolls, much more physical damage.
Oh, wanting to make a go here. In fact, it's Shadow with the first jump, immediately bursting crit down low. They'll take down the CM. Zai from the sideline, drops the Wukong, gets the boundless strike onto 2. Arteezy jumps in, has the diffuser completed now as well. And Wings, they're starting to melt. They've lost 2. Eyesight trying to man up against the Spectre Doom. Eyesight's got it out, and with the deafening blast, they'll clean up Arteezy. Wings find the big kill. 2 for 2 at the moment, and they're not done yet. The control from the Brewlings looking for Sumail, but he gets the blink out as he self-fuels his, jumps away, and they catch more. Set up onto Universe. They can't lock him down in position, though, between the 2 of them left. The Wings do end up losing 3, but they do kill Arteezy.
Yeah, they kill Arteezy. Sumail with some nice individual plays there to make sure he escapes. You can see there the gold change fairly even between the 2 teams.
A lot of damage done by Arteezy before he goes down, though, with that Radiance and Diffusal, as we saw there.
Push Horn and everyone's taking a hefty chunk. Zai with a really good initial set. They missed the silence. Centaur jumps as the puck does. That was
immediately dodges it.
Could have been a very different fight if he doesn't blow up the Crystal Maiden there. And then the nice boundless strike from Zai catches out, what, 3 heroes or something in that chain stun, the AoE stun.
And the crucial doom from Eyesight as well, securing this kill on the Spectre. It's been hard for Eyesight to really show us his stuff in these first 25 minutes. You can argue how effective the Doom's been, but that one play there makes that fight not a complete disaster for Wings, even though they lose the majority.
They're going to get their double BKBs fairly soon with the Doom and the Invoker both going for those, and that's where they'll definitely get more potent in these upcoming team fights. EG themselves on the move, perhaps looking to find a fight with the 4-man unit. Spectre Horn won't be up quite yet, though.
Very close to having Zai's Basher. Pretty big game changer in terms of the effectiveness of his ultimate in these team fights. A lot of control and a lot of nuisance for Wings heroes if they do get trapped in it.
Arteezy just pinging bottom, so he seems to, and he knows the Invoker's there, the Forward Spirits come out, so he's not even going to show himself in the bottom lane.
Now Wings starting to take a bit what they can from EG's half of the map. Getting those wards down as well, making sure that they know when EG's coming themselves out. Bloodstone now complete for Sumail. So Sumail really continuing to maintain ahead of the game here, as we can see on the network. Still him and Artur very much at the top. Blink is closing that gap though on this Invoker, and it's impressive considering the start that Blink had. He did suffer in lane against the Sumail Lina.
Still feels tough for EG to take fights because of Arteezy's squishiness, like having this Radiance Diffusal. He's not that tanky. If he gets doomed, he's very likely to die. So they're very much trying to have a fight where Arteezy comes in the very end, where big spells are being thrown elsewhere. Doom onto whoever else, like a Monkey King, or even the Lina is still better than Arteezy getting Doom. If Arteezy can enter a fight, not get Doom, not get Cyclone, he's going to clean up. But that's also something that Wings likely recognize. Like, okay, this Spectre, if completely ignored, is going to destroy us. So that's why last fight he was #1 Doom target. Any upcoming fights, Arteezy needs to try and enter and as late as possible. Enter and be very disruptive when spells have been already thrown out.
Oh, Heart we have now on Shadow. And we'll be queuing up for the Ags. We sometimes see Centaurs now with a lot of the Ags nerfs looking to go for something like the AC and such, but with a fight like this where EG, a game like this when EG have so many good tools around this element of a team fight, Ags, it's still going to be effective here, Gods.
No crit.
Yeah. He's out and down.
Just doing support things, try and split push a wave and get away with it, but not the end of the world. And yeah, there's a very obvious time to use the Stampede too. Horn is used, you use Axe, because that's when they're, one, doing a lot of damage with the Haunt illusions, Radiance, Diffusal, those Haunt illusions hurt, and two, it's when they're engaging. Like, they're going to use Haunt around a Dream Coil or a Monkey King Boundless Strike. That's when those spells are being used, so it's very easy to get value out of this Aghanim Scepter this game.
Into the pit Wings go. Universe will scout it out. Can EG do anything about this though?
They're killing it fast.
Can they go for any sort of suicidal play? They are going to throw in the WomboXCombo command. They're looking for the steal, jumping in immediately with the Horn and the Dream Coil. Can they get the steal? No. Roshan down to the Dire. Blink will pick it up. Wings now trying to get themselves out on the retreat. They'll lose Eyesight. They've lost Faith Pian as well. Three of them surviving. Arteezy looking to chase down with the Diffusal Blade charge onto Innocence. He's almost certainly going to be going down. The Shrine Heal will not save him as the second charge is dropped. EG pick up a third. But Wings will manage to get that Aegis and the Roshan kill, but it's very, very costly. EG with a big team fight win and now ready with the pressure to push down the mid lane.
Yeah, they just killed it a little bit too slow at the end. So even though Invoker gets away with an Aegis, having an Aegis, not necessarily the biggest deal right now with 3 teammates dead. It's up to Blink to try and delay this one out.
We'll take all the mana out from Artur. And looks like, yeah, with the short respawn timings as well at this sort of stage of the game, Wings being back up will be enough to force EG to back away from this push for now.
So they at least get away with Aegis still in hand, but EG themselves, nice little fight for them. Perhaps Wings will try and play fast here. They know that that Horn's going to be on cooldown for another minute, so this is a small little window where they can try and force a push down the lane or even try and take some objectives. Bottom lane, unfortunately for them, is already on their side of the map, so if they wanted to go for a high ground play, it's not really an option for them.
It's been an interesting game of sorts so far, really. EG with, it seems like the kind of more options and different avenues of closing this game, as Wings very much set on just countering this team fight from EG and getting that push going with the Brewmaster Invoker combination, which, yeah, I'm still excited to see if they get to that high ground. I mean, you absolutely chunk down those structures, don't you? With the alacrity on the Brewling.
Yep, absolutely. And they've got limited physical damage to kill that Earth Panda with. Spectre, I guess,
needs to focus if that happens. I mean, as long as Artur's alive. That's easy. Closing in on that Manta style. Few hundred for that ultimate orb. And eyes on Ice Ice. They will be bringing him back up. Universe ready to lead the way as he heads into the trees. The dagger indeed will be there, so they should have the blink coil indeed to cancel the TP. As EG will take down Ice Ice.
Use that cast range with Sumail. Having the Aether Lens is pretty ridiculous. Didn't even get the cast range talent, just the Aether Lens and the plus 50 damage. I think recognizing that he can scale pretty nicely this game.
Same time though, whilst this is going on up top, Wings are down on the bottom lane.
Oh, this is in.
They have the combo.
Are they going for it?
They're going in for it straight away with the ultimate onto the towers. The fortification will come out. They do have all their big ults as well on EG. As we can see though, the Brewling with the alacrity, look at it, just melt the tier 3, turn towards the racks. And in fact, look at these racks go down. They need to kill this Brewling. It's brought it down to half health, but they are losing heroes. Dumping in on the back lines, but Zai's been the one to be caught out. He falls, it's a double kill for Blink. Wings, they're getting away with this sort of a play. Taking 2 kills. The racks taking a fair bit of damage. I mean, as we're seeing, you've got to be so careful if you're EG.
That Brew Split wearing off just in time, not to mention the alacrity wearing off, but man, did that tier 3 tower melt. Now they can even take shrines. They've got a lot of map control that they can take away from EG, although they don't probably want to lurk around too much longer with the Monkey King CM respawns coming up, but you've got to be so good at keeping lanes pushed out. Like, you can't let those lanes reach your base when Brew and Invoker aren't on the map.
You've really got to, and you know, RTZ, of course, with the Manta and that Radiance can certainly offer a lot in pushing these lanes back out.
But you can't really do it alone. That's where he's in danger of getting picked off. If someone like a Doom, his job is going to be catch Doom Arteezy if he's ever trying to solo push lane. So it's a tricky game for Arteezy to play. He has to be very much aware of what's going on and who's missing from the map at all times.
Sumail has a lot of catch on him for kill potential with that Blink Yules combination. Blink running in the tree line. May himself trying to look for some sort of a setup, and indeed there's an attempt for it. Sumail already out there with the Blink Dagger. And Wings,
oh, they're coming
again. They're ready for round 2. Yep. Here's the combo again.
This may just be Raxus. No Glyph.
I mean, do they get away? I mean, they can just go straight. You're right, Gods.
You need to engage
no
in the
wall for 20 seconds. I guess that's going to come back just after the Primal Split.
How fast can they silence him? How fast
do they
can
just
they
throw their bodies in?
I think that's the plan.
If you can take Rax at this stage, you are keeping the momentum pretty well controlled.
You've got to keep an eye on the silences and the stuns on the Faith Beyond. If he gets the ulti off, Rax goes down. If he gets stunned first, or if he gets silenced, perhaps not. He's going to do it from safety.
They've got backdoor protection though. The creep wave is just about to come in, and there we have it. The timing. How do you stop this? Look at this go. The Rax are falling.
You do nothing, Owen.
Oh my goodness.
You're helpless.
Is this? Oh, and the team's out. Can they get the Panda out? I don't think they even care. They got the Rax. As long as they can keep everyone else alive, I think Wings are totally A-okay with this. So with the Stampede and the Blink out, Wings take a set of Rax, and EG must feel absolutely helpless.
Sneaky, sneaky. Now he's got BKB too, so he can... The really smart thing he does there is he just ultis from Fog. He does the ulti outside the base. He doesn't get greedy. He doesn't try blink to the high ground to get in melee range to ulti. No, he's like, I'm smoked up. I'm on the low ground. I'm going to pop my ulti and run in just to make sure I don't get stunned or silenced. The only way that push doesn't work is if he doesn't get ulti off. They've got good tools to stop him with the Puck Silence, with the Boundless Strike from the Monkey King, good long-range stun as well as a long-range initiation from Silence, but... Once his ulti's off, you're in trouble.
They're smoked up, they're ready to go, but they have been scanned. Yep. Wings know that EG, they know that this strat, it does annoy people. It gets them angered, and they're ready for that anger, Wings. They love it.
Yeah, this is not the end of the world for EG losing one lane of Rax. Their lamp scales very well, can also push out lanes pretty decently, but Invoker is just such a good stalling hero. So hard to push into him. He's just going to constantly throw tornadoes, EMPs. And Centaur is so incredibly tanky, he can just blink in and fight whatever he wants.
There's the lead. Nice size, looking for the lockdown, gets the Doom onto Sumail. Stampede as well as they look to close in. Zai tries to hold them back with WomboXCombo, but Sumail falls. They've lost the Lina. Telekinesis here onto Zai as they hold him in position with the cold snap. Zai falling low. Ice jumps across. Crit trying his best here with the freezing field. He's doing a lot. They've got nowhere to cancel until Shadow. The silence wears out. Has the Who Stomp. Definitely Blast as well. Wings pick up a third. They're holding EG back.
Oh, they caught him!
And they've even caught Uni. They don't have the follow-up.
Okay.
But they are sending EG packing back to their half of the map.
Yeah, they've got Brew ulti, Owen.
They're ready to go again. Wings.
Push down another lane with the Brew ult, perhaps. They've got a bit of a ways to go. There will be respawns on all heroes by the time they reach the high ground, but you're still pushing into no Haunt, no Dream Call currently. Perhaps the Dream Call will come back up, but the Haunt's got a pretty hefty cooldown, and got to imagine Wings will want to press the advantage here. Invoker can boot to travel in, so they should be ready to go.
Oh my goodness. Wings. Yeah, absolutely. Tier 2 is going to fall. The creeps come back in. EG will have their full lineup, but as you say, ults aren't all there for EG. Wings, they're ready to go in. Fate Pian straight away, the Primal Split and the Electricity. Here we go, the Tornado holding back EG. The fortification is there. But still, there's going to be so much damage done here by this push. The tier 3's falling, it's gone. The Bruiling turns towards the Rax. Arteezy, they're trying to take it down with the physical damage, but the Rax, chunk, they're gone. Again, a second set of many Rax, and Fabian takes down Arteezy. Oh my goodness. If this doesn't tilt you, I don't know what would, gods. EG have got to keep their composure against this. They will find eyesight. They found two. Sumail gets the double. They get Innocence as well in the tree line. Triple kill for Sumail.
I'm not sure how much these kills matter though. You've lost another melee Rax. Slowly but surely, Wings will just take building after building and get mega creeps. Like you can fight against one lane of Rax down. 2, things get a little harder. 3 lanes down, it's practically game over at that point. So you've got to make a stand. You've got to actually push back at some point, and that's something that EG have to be thinking about. The second Arteezy respawns, even before he respawns, go for a smoke gank, set up a Haunt. You can't let Wings control the tempo any longer.
You've got to do something big. So big. They've got the Aghanims on Universe.
They'll be nice against the BKBs, but I'm not sure it's a end-all solution for this game.
I mean, this must be a test for EG. I mean, the atmosphere for the team, losing 2 sets of Rax to this, it's got to be infuriating.
And they had such a good early game. Everything was going right. They got the Midas. Spectre was free farming. And then they're probably just like, man, we're being cheesed right now.
They've got to kill this Brew. But well, Fabian just straight with the BKB. Crit, we'll see if he goes for the cutoff. Fabian has got a blink. We'll see if he's greedy and sticks around, allowing himself to get hurt. And indeed he does, and with a free to field, they'll blow him up, they'll kill him. Fabian's out. Is just down for 40, does have buyback. Whoa. EG will move on for more though, looking towards Eyesight on the Doom. Got the BKB and time, turns around with the Doom onto Spectre. They try and get in with the Blink Who Stop. It's not going to connect onto Arteezy. They're desperately trying to get Spectre out of there safely, EG. Zai with the Wukong's command, the Boundless Strike onto 3. Innocence is out, Light Strike to follow onto Shadow with the Laguna. Have they got the damage to bring down this Brute? The Jingu Mastery, is it strong enough? It is, with Sumail's right clicks flying through. They take down a third, they'll turn towards the Bruiling. They're bringing them down, but the big bad one prevails. The Earth Bruiling, can they kill it? They can. They've dealt with it. He's out for 50. Shadow's down for 70. Huge death on Wings. How much can EG do with this?
That's what EG needed. They needed to take a fight, go in the aggressive. That Sunstrike. Ooh. Went for the pick, couldn't find it.
Look at the gold. That was exactly what EG needed. in a game like this.
Not going to get racked, but taking an Aegis, denying an Aegis as well from Wings. Could be big here, although not the easiest Roche to their life. Need to make sure they don't get down to Sunstrike HP. Arteezy.
Have we got Sunstrike? It's back there.
Hope that he doesn't hit you with it, I guess. Group up
Is he
together.
going to throw one in?
Is Roche going to clap again? If
it
Roche
looks
claps,
like he's not.
Okay, we're good. That clap. Oh, no Sunstrike.
That's so low. They have no vision outside of this pit at the moment for Wings, so EG should be safe.
Well, EG, hold on. That was the incredible team fight they've needed for some time, and we'll keep them alive. They don't get a lane of racks. At this point, they just need to be thinking, how do we take fights as far away from our base as possible? They don't want to give Wings a chance to enter their half of the map. They need to be the ones going outside, meeting Wings on the battlefield, taking them on before that Brewmaster Split can just hit buildings. They've stopped using the Brewmaster Split for team fights. Other than that one there, that was like a desperation. Like I say desperation. I think Wings felt like they had an opportunity. They doomed up Arteezy. If they killed him, it would have been a one fight. And Arteezy, I believe, still didn't have buyback from the previous fight, so would have been a big kill at that. But he managed to get away thanks to the help from his team. The Glimmers, the Force, all these small little support items adding up.
This is a great time for EG to fight, though. They have the Aegis, they've got Horn, as well as this Arcane Rune. Would be lovely to use it whilst you can get that reduced cooldown out. And there's 2 buybacks on cooldown for Wings. Yeah,
you want to meet them outside, but you also don't, like, as much as EG don't want to let Wings pushing it to the high ground, they also don't really want to push high ground. Spectre is very bad at hitting buildings, and Invoker very good at defending high ground. So it's this situation where Wings can force a stalemate. They can just hug their high ground. They know EG don't want to try and force a high ground push. Similarly, EG don't want to let Wings get to their base. So if Wings want, they can just wait 5 minutes, wait for that Aegis to expire, and pick a fight that's going to suit them better right now.
And EG, indeed, just backing up, making as much as they can happen from the map.
Yep.
As they know that Wings will be waiting on that high ground. Not wanting to take any risks. Wings know exactly what they have to do to win this game.
Level 25 Spectre gets his minus 10-second Spectral Dagger cooldown. Not the biggest deal in the world. Definitely nice, but you'll quickly run out of mana if you're spamming that every, like, what, 6 seconds is it? So
I think it's very nice against these heroes with the blink daggers, just being able to keep marks on where they are.
Yeah, even if you're not actively cancelling it, but it tracks their vision, and you can, it's 7-second duration, 6-second cooldown, so it's constant spam, but Lina getting more damage output, going for the Fiery Souls. No surprise there. It seems to be what even support Linas get when you're transitioning into that core Lina. So see what Sumail can do as far as damage output goes. He's getting a secondary Lincoln, so prioritizing his own survivability against the Doom. That's the big thing here. Something like blocking a Doom could be what decides an upcoming fight.
They're ready to lead in. They have the vision, jumping in onto Crit with the Glimmer Cape. Have they got the detection? They do. They picked up the gem, looking for Crit, walks into the Sunstrike. That's the CM out and down. Wings looking for more. They turn towards Arteezy, who haunted into the middle of this fight, getting stunned up. Universe trying to come in with the save. Drops the Dream Coil down onto 2, but Arteezy's out. Has the Aegis ready for round 2. Eyesight is falling low on the Doom, but it has the Shrine. Still, they've got Blink ready with a lot of spells. Ready to throw in from the sidelines. Artor looking towards Innocence. There we have the hold back with the Meteor. Bian pots the BKB, tries to TP out, but the bash is there from Zai. Faith Bian in trouble. He's going to go down, and also most certainly buyback is still not there. Still on cooldown, so he's out for 45 seconds. EG do take the fight here with the use of this Aegis.
Still so tough to go high ground. Yeah, they'll get the tier 2, but no Aegis. They can't really easily force high ground against Invoker. They may try to, just because they feel like they're still under pressure to get something done. And there's no Doom. Doom ran straight at the Lina, just tried to take her out of the fight.
It's easy getting jumped on and comboed immediately, bringing himself down to half health. The Tornado from Blink into the EMP. Artor in a whole lot of trouble. They have the Stampede closing in. Sumail looking towards Eyesight, won't be able to kill him. Eyesight survives, and they've lost Arteezy. Wings hold the defense. Sumail looking to get up with the TP, but Shadow with the foresight to jump into the sidelines has it bang on point. Wings are holding, and EG again, their attempts have been stunted.
They're not just holding, they're getting the big kills at that. Like finding both cores and Lina and Spectre at such a key time of the game. They're going to immediately look to push out their lanes, probably set things up so that they can try and take some more of these outer objectives. At least either force a Spectre buyback or take the tier 2 tower, threaten the tier 3. EG don't want to let that happen. They're already pressing forward. Eyesight is very low here.
See what they can get. They're looking towards Blink, set up with the silence, but BKB immediately. They pop the Ags. They do still get stunned here by the Dream Coil. Crit just out of range here though with a freezing field side. Getting chunked by Faith Beyond the Deafening Blast, connecting onto Uni. If they got the lockdown, Scorched Turf is out. Does still have an orb and a Blink. Into the tree line. Can they find in the Tornado? Ooh, it's a good attempt in case Universe jumped across. Who doesn't? But Ice is hot on the tail. Faith Beyond a Blink jump in. Can Universe play his way out of this one with a phase shift?
Blink.
Can he get
Nope.
out? He can't. Wings surround him, take down the puck. Crit just holding on for dear life in that tree line, praying the Wings don't come a-hunting. As Wings hitting EG so hard. I mean, this is quite incredible to watch.
I like the move. It was so unexpected from EG. They just ran at Wings outside their base with no Spectre, no Lina. Their two core heroes missing, but that's the kind of plays you have to make. You have to catch them outside your base. If you let Wings get to your front door, they'll go smashing it down. So a bold move. It doesn't pay off for EG because of the instant BKBs, but it's the kind of move they have to make in this game. And now the buybacks will cometh. Brewmaster split ready to go.
Oh, here's the combo. EG, you've got to get rid of that Brewling. Arteezy's trying to focus it. Universe will hold four of them back very nicely with the Dream Coil. Can they bring it down?
So tanky.
Look, it's going to get the tower at least. Pummeling into it. The tier 3 almost certainly going to fall. As again, they get an objective, and with Shadow jumping in, who stop onto 2, Faith Beyond following through with the clap Blink, focusing on the sidelines. Crit as CM's out. Ice jumps in with the Doom onto Arteezy. They've got to hold them back. They have to keep Artur alive, and they're doing it. They've taken 3. Arteezy ready to move on for more. Shadow comes back in with the Who Stomp double edges. Not enough damage, but with Blink's right click, it might be, and it is. The Shiva's Guard. They chase Artur down. He's out. Blink tries to get away with the Ghost Wall, but Sumail, he's cleaning up, holding on hard for EG. The Laguna Blade to do it for the Invoker. Turns towards the Centaur.
He can't fight the return. Sumail's losing the right click battle.
The passive is too strong, but with the help of 3, they'll finally bring down Shadow, get that triple kill for Sumail as they wipe Wings. But now that final melee Rax is exposed.
It's still a hold. It looked like that was going to be a really tough spot for them. Spectre still respawning. Puck had to buy back, but they completely wipe Wings and keep this best of one hope alive.
They just can't kill that Brulin. We saw Artur at the start focusing it, but then EG realized they can't. They need to deal with the fact that Wings, they're jumping in the base. They're straight up to the high ground.
I like the approach where they go on the backlines. They realize that this support network, the Rubik, the Doom, are the bigger issues. Doom still luckily got off his ultimate onto the Spectre. But they had the answers. The Lina just dishing out massive amounts of damage. He almost single-handedly kills the Invoker there. And unfortunately for EG, EG can win fights. That's not the problem. It's taking objectives. And the biggest downside of their lineup we're seeing is the inability to hit buildings. Neither Lina nor Spectre, their 2 main cores, hit buildings at all.
They have got that Desolate on Zai to help out, but absolutely still certainly an area that they're lacking. Our Wings have tower and Rax push for days with this Brewmaster Invoker combination that we knew from the draft. It could be strong. We've seen it before. I wonder now if in a second time in a row, more teams will follow suit if Wings do manage to go ahead and win this game. With just evidence of how well these cleverly timed pushes and execution can really cause havoc for a team that had to lead from the start. We saw insane timings on the Spectres, Midas, Radiance. Arteezy was getting the farm that he needed. Sumail was having a fantastic time in the mid lane. But now at this stage, EG well and truly shaken up.
Another Roche, see if that's something EG can get their hands on. Importantly, they didn't have to use key buybacks in that defense. Here's like Spectre, Lina. Didn't have to buy back for them to hold. If they had to go through those big core buybacks, other than like the puck was the one they used. If they had to use more than the puck, it would have been a really tough spot for them to play into. Wings are going to go for a smoke, but as said, there's buybacks available. EG have lives to throw at this one. Just wonder what the call's going to be. Do you try something like NPS and try and fight through the backdoor protection, or are you just looking for a pick? Because it looks like they're more intent on finding the pickoffs here.
There we go. Wings on the high ground. EG not to come across. What is that neutral creep doing? Oh, there we go. He gets eaten. He's taken out for his own better good.
There we go. The EG ward will scout out and get all the info they need to take this fight on. And I imagine they will definitely not let that lane just push up. Yeah, they're going to run directly at Wings. This is, in my mind, the play you got to make. You can't just let Wings do what they're doing.
Blink on the front lines as well would be a perfect hero to jump if they could take him down.
Oh, he's invis.
He's so speedy as well.
He pops the smokes and gets away.
We'll throw the first tornado out. And Shadow tries for the jump, does get the connection here immediately onto Arteezy. They break the linkers and in with the Doom. Artor in trouble. They'll drop down the Wukong's command. Zai looking towards Shadow. The bash is holding him in place. In fact, doing a hell of a lot of damage with the ult. They control the Invoker. They'll take down Blink. Laguna dropped onto Shadow. Can they kill him in time? Eyesight still trying to come back in and finish off Arteezy. But the Manta, he can't quite get out. They've brought down Arteezy. Wings they've lost 4. They'll buy back on 2.
Oh, Arteezy doesn't have buyback because he bought out for the BKB. It was a nice pickup that helped him survive a long time in that fight, but ultimately, those buybacks, I don't think Wings will look to push off of them. They'd have to use all of their buybacks, and they don't know Arteezy's buyback
I don't think Arteezy actually managed to get the BKB off in that fight because of the Doom.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, so he's still got the 10-second one.
A purchase that's painful.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it's going to... Oh, it may actually mean that Roche goes down. That's actually a big deal. You just use buyback on your Invoker. You'd love to get him an Aegis. And EG doesn't look like can do anything about this one. They do not want to risk a fight. With Spectre having buyback and Doom, like a potential Doom buyback, there's a Shrine right there, so he can TP in immediately. It's just too risky for them, perhaps.
Yeah, Wings absolutely are going to want to make something happen with this. Primal Split, not quite a back off cooldown again, 20 seconds or so, so you can put it on a bit of a back burner until then. 30 seconds without Arteezy. We'll have Horn immediately available when he's back up, but it has to be careful then. I mean, it was just a perfect initiation from Wings, jumping in, breaking that Linken's, allowing Ice to get the Doom in. And as we saw, even with EG killing off huge amounts of Wings, taking down 4, the combination and control of keeping Wings inside of that Wukong's command, it does a hell of a lot. You know, having this Basher and Desolator, it really does hurt them. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're losing your Spectre. Yeah,
Monkey King has managed to scale very well into this late game, and Invoker not having like any, not that you'd expect armor items, but like this is a game where you're like, you always want to have a Shiva's card, but you run into item slot problems. It's like you have to prioritize, well, I need the BKB, you also want the Shivas for the armor, you want the Refresher for the late game, but the end result is that Invoker is very susceptible to that Monkey King damage output. Talked about there being very little physical in EG, that's changing now because Monkey King has the damage items.
Yeah, that level 25 plus 100% boneless strike adds a lot of nuke damage physically. Dropping that boundless down. Yep. Now we'll certainly like a fair few of Wings out, especially if he has that Jingu built up.
Lina with the Daedalus, going to start right-clicking nice and hard in these late-game fights, and 21 Bloodstone charges means Sumail has a fast respawn time. Without the respawn talent, though, it's not instant, and often in these big late-game fights, having a 20-30 second respawn time doesn't cut it. You need the insta buyback. So as good as those Bloodstone charges sound, there may be a scenario where he would have to buy back even with all those charges.
As we can see, Zai certainly been hot on the warding this game. And we saw straight from the laning, keeping good vision deep over Wings half the map, but vice versa. Wings have been very smart with their movements and countering what EG have been trying to do. EG now ready to push up. And yeah, 4.5. Sumail just getting richer and richer by the minute. I've got their eyes onto White. Let's see how heavy they want to go in on this. Still danger of Wings certainly closing in from behind them with the Shrine still up.
Rubik with the Stolen Dagger, doesn't get that short cooldown, does not get to steal the talents with it. Not the biggest spell to have in a fight. Has had some nice steals, had the Freezing Field earlier. Seen the Puck Silence get stolen and used against the Puck himself.
And we're talking about Puck. Universe, of course, is certainly kitted up for some big plays.
Has he got the 420?
He has. Axe Refresher, yeah. Which talent did he go for? He did. He is going to have money for days.
Okay.
We're going to see that maxed out Dagon potentially coming very, very shortly. Look at that roll in. Oh,
beautiful.
My goodness. It's a lot of money. Actually switching up, so queuing up the Mjolnir.
Wants to be able to push lanes better,
I guess get a shield on Arteezy at the front lines or something.
Shield Arteezy, and then also when you're, like, he's one of the main heroes that needs to push out lanes right now, it seems, so that will help clear waves since the bottom lanes have been mega creep.
I mean, look at all the level 25s we're getting as well this game.
Stuff.
Everyone is starting to max out. We've got that Return Aura on Shadow. Oh, it's a lot of talent this game.
What's our Brew looking at for 25? Oh, the extra armor.
Oh, that is imbalance. 20 plus armor on this already unkillable little green bugger.
Yeah, that's nice.
My goodness.
Doom gets the Ancients or Infernal Blade damage.
I think when he hits 25, you call it.
Yep. I want to say you might go Infernal Blade damage. There's no... I don't know. The new Ancients,
2%?
maybe? It's not a big deal, but it's like, are you actually going to... It's only if you're going to devour an ancient. The Granite Golem HP is nice, that for sure.
Does that affect the Bruling, the aura?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, there we go. It buffs it up.
Oh, the extra HP. Yeah, I think it should.
Yeah, I mean, aura's yeah, it should. Yeah, it should, shouldn't it?
It's everything. It's creeps and all. Yeah.
So that's if he goes for that.
And I'm not sure how the new little root creep would work. If you get like the minus armor from the spell cast, whatever it's called, from that new ancient, that could be something you consider. But I want to say Infernal Blade damage against these tanky heroes. Percent-based damage late game is going to be really nice against like a tanky Spectre.
Still, I mean, if EG, they are kind of holding back, but if they can find fights when buybacks are on cooldown for Wings, they can certainly still do it.
I mean, it's Wings with Aegis and Cheese and not willing to take a fight right now. By the time Aegis expires, they'll have that Invoker buyback, though, so that's probably the key thing to look at there, but it really is Wings playing very defensively and cautiously.
Yeah.
They can't really get out. They know if they go for a push down the lane, EG is going to meet them outside the base, and taking a team fight against this Refresher Puck, the Spectre with how much farm Arteezy's got, very, very difficult.
And talking about auras, of course, and the Brute, Fabian working on that Assault Cuirass and has the money if he wants to go full in.
Not sure.
EG doing their best to keep these lanes pushed out. You can see at the moment pretty much all lanes pushed up to at least the river, the bottom just slightly behind. So EG just making sure that there's very, very limited options in terms of playing around them as they do maintain overall control of the map. Wings being very reserved in their play style, holding back, waiting for EG to make the call.
It's kind of a stalemate. Neither team wants to... Well, Wings would love to push high ground, but they're not going to be allowed to push high ground. So EG don't want to push high ground, Wings don't want to fight in the middle of the map. And that, as a result, no one is able to move too far out of the base until we see some kind of one of the teams get kind of antsy, maybe like try and make a jump. The Centaur initiation, the Monkey King Boundless Strike initiation could come out. But very difficult to break through these high grounds right now.
Let's see what they can do. EG playing around with the idea.
Everyone's going to be getting 6-slotted at this rate.
56 minutes in. It's not a short one. It's more of an epic mismatch here between EG and Wings, as we would have hoped in a best of one.
Monkey's going to scale very well. He's got a lot of room to grow in terms of his items.
Blink's starting to come out here, Zai. Immediately with the BKB TP out. No, we're talking about Ice Ice nearly getting in range there for the Doom.
Yeah, they even stampeded to get him there closer. Would have been a nice pick off. I think killing Monkey King is perhaps enough to go for a fight or a push with. He's such a key hero. He's the physical damage here. Everyone else is kind of like very magic based. I mean, Arteezy still, of course, he's 6-slot. He does some decent physical damage, but the Monkey King is like burst physical damage that the Invoker is just dying in the Wukong's command. If he gets stunned in a Wukong's, he's melting. So killing this Monkey King is important in this late game stage.
I'm talking about Zai, very, very close to having the completed Abyssal Blade.
Yep.
But may indeed be saving that buyback at this stage. As it could be crucial in these fights that EG are going to be forced to take eventually.
A lot of buybacks floating around. Heroes, even like the Brewmaster we saw. Oh yeah, he's actually used his money, bought the AC.
Yeah, Zai will go in for the purchase.
Interesting.
And maybe indicating that EG are ready to get something done. And there we have it, 25, that plus 20 armor on the Promise, but as well, of course, next time we will see that AC aura as well. It's going to be very, very tanky Brewlings.
Yep. Definitely, I feel like EG can still continue. I feel like Wings have peaked. Not to say they're in a bad spot, because then should have to go fight. They don't want to fight outside their base, but any further item pickups for Wings are pretty inconsequential, whereas heroes like Spectre with Refresher, very good in the late game. He's also going to get an Abyssal first, it looks like, but Spectre, a lot of item growth potential. You've got a lot of item growth potential on Monkey King. He can get a lot scarier with some damage items, so it does feel like EG have stabilized this game and found themselves in not a comfortable position when you're down like 2 lanes of racks, but at least an okay position.
Oh, Wings have already found themselves a bit of blood as they jump out looking for crit. Can EG do anything in return? Universe comes in with the first coil onto 2. BKB popped by Ice Ice. Jumping down, Abyssal to hold the Doom in place. Out come the Wukong's command. Universe with the Refresher. Second Dream Coil to hold them in place. They'll burst down Ice Ice. Shadowstone on the sidelines. Zai trying to beat down the Brewling. Turning towards him. He will be able to bring it out with Sumail's superior attack range. They clean out the third one. They've taken out Fabian. No buyback as well for this Panda. as he's down for a full minute. But EG do commit all the ults for this. They'll look for the push now.
His Primal Split got stuck in the trees. The one that was out of the trees, he was the one that's very tanky. He tried to survive with it, but just enough physical damage. And boy, was that Abyssal Blade clutch. You kind of question, like, do you want to say buyback? Do you want to buy an item? Well, you can see why it pays off there. He was about to get
changed
doomed.
The fight.
And if he didn't get off that Wukong's command, Wings would have had a much better shot of winning it. It was definitely a good Doom target if you could stop the Wukongs, but...
Shadow with a lead in actually catches Universe out around the phase shift. Universe in a hell of a lot of trouble with the Tornado coming through into the Sunstrike. Can he play his way out again with the phase shift? Do they have any sort of control of catch? They don't. He'll be fine. Universe will manage to play his way around the combo. Sumail looking to come back in very aggressively here, trusting his Lincolns. It will be fine. I mean, he's incredibly speedy here, as we can see with that bonus movement speed from the stacks.
Wings have held with that. Haven't used buybacks, but...
Oh, Roshan is up as well. This would be perfect for EG.
Maybe not the easiest thing to claim, but...
They've got a lot of damage on Sumail.
Yep.
With that Daedalus, but I mean, you're right. It's risky to do with Wings getting everyone back up. That shrine, of course, still there around the pit.
With Monkey, perhaps they go for. I mean, we've seen Wings and their patience. They do not want to leave their base. They're waiting for EG to come to them. And I think EG can read that and probably feel like Roche is likely to go uncontested. They ping it out. Sunstrikes can scout this one out, but again, moving out on the map aggressively has proven to be difficult for Wings to do. The vision advantage from the Monkey King being able to fly onto the trees, the wards just protecting this make this very hard to stop.
They know what's up though, but there's no way they can get her in time. They will start to TP across to the shrine, but EG should find this. A sneaky Tornado isn't going to get the kill. EG will still find Roshan. He's just like cheese picked up.
Monkey getting it. Everyone else is kind of 6-slotted. Lina, Inspector, and Monkey. If you get a second life on this hero, you can do a lot of damage with it. So,
and of course, as I believe with the Monkey King, you keep the Wukong's command stays up if you die in the ultimate. So if you die in the ultimate, it's pretty bad for the enemy, because there's no way then that they can push you out or kill you again. As I think, unless they fix that. But I mean, Monkey King and fixing those words don't go together. So we may see how effective that will be in these team fights.
Puck, 30k net worth. Thank you, level 25 talents. Does kind of...
Oh, and look at you, what a man, what a bro. Universe.
I guess it's for our easier, right?
Time to get the moon shards out. Not for him. I mean, I imagine not for himself first. Has he already given one out?
I think Lina bought for herself because Lina's very farmed. But yeah, poor Arteezy. Where's my moon?
Where's my moon shard?
Do you give it to Monkey before Spectre though?
Oh, maybe you give it to Zai. Yeah.
I think it's actually better on Zai.
Here's the jump in though. Woohoo! Crit down to the low ground, chomps to the cheese. He'll be fine. Eyesight's looking for the Doom, but Dream Call again. Big plays from Universe. Huge stones on to do with the Abyssal onto Eyesight. They found one. They turn towards Shadow. Second Abyssal holding him in place here. And this setup there, the counterplay from Universe, absolutely beautiful. Jeez. That Dream Coil, that insane duration on the stun through the Magic immunity, setting up not only 2 kills, but what looks to be 3 kills here for EG.
Now you're going to have to use these buybacks. Probably 2 of them. You've only got 2.
You've got to get yourself in. Already we can see as well, Sumail's like, top lane guys, we got to get this lane pushed out.
Yeah, don't let that Brewmaster potential buyback completely blindside us.
And here we go, what can Wings do? They still have the key components for the defense up. Blink is alive, jumping from Shadow. Immediately going in on Arteezy, crit comes forward, but Blink pops the BKB. Ice Path is down. Again, doing their best to keep EG off. The fortification, slowing them down momentarily. Arteezy will still stick around, take the tier 3, turn towards the rack. Shadow actually going to miss the Blink Who Stomp here. And EG on the verge of potentially getting themselves a Rax. Tornado again onto Arteezy. They'll look for the follow through. Abyssal onto the Lotus Orb. Arteezy drops the hammer on his own head, but again, Universe with these Dream Coils, causing huge amounts of issues here for Wings. They've found one. They'll take down a second. A Centaur out with 2 minutes and no buyback. Blinks out as well. Does have buyback available. They're going to have Brewmaster back as well in a few seconds. EG, they got the melee racks. They got themselves some big kills.
That Bloodstone Suicide got Arteezy back to like 2/3 HP.
And they're going for the game here, EG. Arteezy is playing around with the idea of going for the tier 4s, and they're going fully in. EG wants to try and end it potentially. They've got to be careful.
Yeah, Arteezy still low.
Here's the jump in, Faith Bian looking towards Zai. Blink needs to come in hard with the combo, trying to set up with the Boundless Strike, holds him back. Arteezy comes in, the Linkers will protect the Invoker from the Abyssal Blade. Artur gets himself away on minimal health. Zai bursts down.
He's got Aegis still.
He's back for round 2. Arteezy solo has that heart, has to hang back. before reinitiating.
It's so much easier to... Insta buyback. He's got travels too. He'll be right back in. They would end the game now.
And I think they might be able. I mean, can they?
Doom's got two ultis.
Fabian jumps in with the ult. They've got to hold EG back. They're looking for the game. Sumail pops the BKB. He's just hammering away at this Ancient. Ice is coming around for the side. Artur jumps in. Immediately stunned up here by the Brewling.
Ice, you got to Doom
He's
someone.
got to throw it out before he gets down with the freezing field and such. Ice is out. RTZ, he's fine. The boundless strike here from Zai, holding back the Rubik. Bling trying his best, but the Wukong's command is out. Wings, they're trapped up again by the Dream Coil from Universe. Bling, BKB pop, but the stuns are there. Zai bashing him up here with the Wukong's Blink. Falling low, Universe forces them back to the base. EG, they turn their attentions back towards the Ancient. Can they still hold here? Wings, Bian in again with the Blink Cloud. RTZ takes a Sunstrike straight to the head. He's falling low. He's being forced back in by the stolen Wukong's command. Why is holding? But Sumail, he maintains control as he faces towards the Ancient, and EG will finish the game. They've beaten it. Wings tried the meme strats again, but it wasn't effective as EG have climbed their way through what must have been one of the most nerve-wracking best of ones here.
That is best of one Dota in a nutshell. Arteezy's subreddit will be proud of that game.
My goodness.
Absolutely incredible game.
That was, I mean, just the fact that we saw Wings, they had this idea. It came to fruition. They took 1 racks, 2 racks, put pressure on the third one.